Welcome back, everyone, to the Quake Pro League. We are in week 1. We are at the ultimate game at the end of this day. We have got Rapha and DaHanG, Zoot with Ketchup. We get things going around here.
It's been a long day. But it's been very, very hot here in London.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. The UK
sweaty.
weather is just so unpredictable. Sometimes it's cold and rainy, and then one day it goes, I'm really warm now. And that's where we are at the moment. But all the temperature aside, it's been a damn good day with some damn good Quake. The final match is going to be Liquid Rapha versus Liquid DaHanG. And, I mean, you know, two Quake champions, absolute legends going at it. I think we can always expect a really, really good game from these two guys.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to talking about predictions on this one, to be honest.
Me neither.
But yeah, of course, we can start looking at the players, actually, in no particular order. How do we summarize these guys, is what I'm thinking.
It's one of those things, isn't it?
How do we
where...
break it down into some snippets?
So I'd say let's start with Rapha.
Okay.
We'll start off with Rapha, who is a man that needs no introduction. He is...
Great, we're done.
He's the greatest Quake player of all time.
That is so
and,
true.
you know, I know before Quake Champions there was always a bit of a question mark over who the greatest of the great is. But after Quake Champions, Rapha is the main man. He is the #1. However, I know Kilson is the current champion. So as of right now, he is the current #1, but Rapha is the greatest Quake player that has ever lived. And I feel like he is going to be climbing through these NA ranks hungrily and eager to be #1 going into... And this moment against Razy was just... That one moment against Razy, for me, summarizes why he is the best to me. Just that fearlessness, decision-making. He is the scientist of all scientists in this game. He understands the game to just the smallest detail, and it is absolutely insane just how much knowledge this guy has in combination to his ridiculous level of skill. But DaHanG...
Yeah.
It's ridiculous as well.
This guy's another beast. He's, for me, in the 2017 to 2018, I personally consider him the best player of that period. I thought the way that he came out into Quake Champions initially, he just understood it immediately. This guy's got an unbelievable dynamic play style. He's got a broad set of skills on many different champions, and his mechanical skills are almost unparalleled as well. And he's been a champion in team modes with Rapha and without him. He's been champions in duels as well. This guy is just so all-rounded and so good. And obviously one thing he does definitely share with Rapha, though, is he's a Team Liquid boy as well.
Exactly, and the difference between the two is that Rapha is just Rapha will perfect the game that is in front of him, and DaHanG will innovate as he goes as well. You know, I think that's why DaHanG and Rapha were, without question, the world's greatest 2v2 team in Quake Champions, because they worked off each other so well that Rapha was in many ways like the leader of the two. You know, he was the shot caller. He was the one always making all the choices and calling things out and trusting in DaHanG to do the right thing. And DaHanG would explore the champion aspect. He would pick all the different champions and they'd come up with these combinations that literally no one else in the world was doing. You know, DaHanG was the player that kind of invented dual clutch at DreamHack Winter, where he took first place. He invented Strog and Pika in 2v2, of which they became the world's best. And Rapha is just, you know, the best, right? And that there's no other way to go about it. We have got, I believe, the picks and bans and the maps to expect, so we'll get into that. I mean, we could talk about these two guys for hours, but we only have a little bit of this broadcast left to go. It's Ruins of Sarnath, Awoken, and then Vale of Pnath. We're going to see some Slash from DaHanG immediately.
That's the one I want to see. And on Ruins, we've not really been seeing Slash and Ruins. We've seen it on Molten Falls a couple of times. We've seen it on Blood Covenant, but we are yet to see it on Ruins. Very excited to see. There's a lot of incredibly cool maneuvers you can make on that map. And DaHanG again, having some roots in Quake 4 as well. It's going to be starting. Maybe not Tox styling, but you know, put that aside, it's going to be unreal. And we've already seen some really cool stuff from Tox, Dramis, Nosfer, of course. It's been absolutely incredible. But on the other side, we've got a little bit more stable BQ3 kind of strategies coming out from Rapha, of the Aizen and Galena, the Turks and Totems, respectively. Maybe looking to play a little bit more of a sort of, not standard, but a more fundamental core defensive anchored game, then spread from there.
Yeah, I know whenever Rapha and DaHanG, like, they have these absolute moments of greatness when they face off against everyone else, but whenever you watch them go head-to-head, especially in a competitive setting, their matches are quite slow-paced. Whenever I would watch DaHanG and Rapha play duel in Quake Champions, it would actually be not a particularly explosive and high-octane match at all, because it's two very respectful players knowing exactly how the other person plays, like, training partners, teammates. What to expect from this, it's kind of hard to say, because they know each other so well at this point. So you might start seeing those weird, unorthodox plays because they know each other to such a science.
Now that we're getting to it, though, you're going through it, but you're skirting the edges a little bit.
I am.
What's the predictions?
I don't want to do it.
I decline. It's actually in your contract. You have to.
Can I say no? Can I say no? Can I go home? So, I mean, of all the matches to predict, this is kind of right up there as one of. I know.
Nosfer Saiga was impossible.
They were the two ones I think I've struggled with the most today, where I could be quite confident in my predictions before. I definitely think I just believed in Nosfer. Whereas in this case,
let me ask you: will a 3-0 either side surprise you?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. Because the thing is, DaHanG and Rapha, DaHanG's actually beaten Rapha in duel before anyway. In Quake Champions. So it's not like, if we were going by previous results, that's actually the problem I'm having, is that Rapha is the greatest Quake player that has ever lived, right? And his tournament results prove that. However, against DaHanG, he is proven beatable in certain points of the game. So right now, though, I am going to say Rapha, but I think 2-1 Rapha. I don't think it's going to be a 3-0 either way.
I won't be surprised if a 3-0. I also think that Rapha's got the advantage on this. But again, it depends. There's a very intense event at QuakeCon that people have practiced for. Some people like to take a week off. Some people like to take 2. What's the grind been like for both DaHanG and Rapha? How in shape are they? This is going to be a big game for them right at the beginning of the league to maybe determine which direction they're going to be going within the points leading through the weeks of the Quake Pro League. Rapha. I'll go with Rapha.
But your prediction is 3-0,
it's making
Rapha.
me even sweatier. And I think that's critically unhealthy at the moment.
So I just take... So you got loads of water there, just throw it all over you. So your prediction is 3-0, Rapha?
No, it's 2-1 Rapha. But I'm giving myself some leeway. And if it's 3-0, I still look like I... thought
You've just simply given yourself...
Things are just sticking to me.
You've given yourself the option select.
Yes.
Well, I secretly knew that one.
Well, exactly.
I was just trying to be polite with the 2-1.
And it just means I didn't curse anything like 100%.
But ultimately, I think fundamentally for me, even though DaHanG has done really well versus Rapha in the past, Rapha has progressively in duel just become better and better and better. And I think him actually not getting top 2 at QuakeCon, Rapha not getting top 2 at QuakeCon, I will consider a massive upset.
Can I tell you that and I really hope these guys are just plugged into the strict... Still stuff sticking to me. I was not surprised. I think the format didn't favour Rapha as well. But because he's a big stage player, and there was a lot of intense round-robinness going on as well.
So do you feel like the lack of
stage... He's still the best big stage player, though.
Do you feel like the lack of stage time hurt Rapha?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I understood your read. We actually talked about this extensively at QuakeCon.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with you.
You know what? We can go into that a whole lot more later on if we want, or in some other shows. But let's get into the game, guys, because Rapha and DaHanG have just started, and this is going to be a super hype game. We're currently on DaHanG, who is wielding Slash and already be moving rapidly around the map. We haven't broken the frags, but we are going to get them right now with a couple of quick rails there from DaHanG. Looked for a second that he might be in trouble, but Rapha was not able to disengage.
And that's one way to open. In less than a minute, DaHanG scores first blood against his teammate. And look, I'm not speaking too soon, I promise. But DaHanG is so capable versus Rapha. It's insane.
Oh, hello. Quick reactions there. The orb goes through for a moment. Was dangerous. Hairy situation for a second.
But this is what we've seen in the past. We have seen these guys clash in competitive settings, online or offline. And DaHanG has just looked extremely comfortable. I know that Rapha is the one that we're kind of projecting to win because of the recent results and stuff, but I can never... I don't think like there's ever a game mode I can count out DaHanG in. I feel like he's such a multi-mode specialist, and he doesn't quite get the final shot. 3-0 in a minute and a half. What is going on here, Zoo?
This is just Slash. Slash can be so quick. Getting into the fights as fast as you want to, so as soon as he's out of control, it's easy to disengage. When he gets in control, he just needs to get that one half-decent shot. Oh my god, picking up the LG is a hard angle to follow up, but Rapha is still able to get it, despite all of that entry damage. Shows the power of the orb, that burst damage.
What a choice. I love that choice, by the way. The immediate objective, take the LG away from DaHanG on spawn, and I'm looking at my stack, I know I can take that.
But I also despise what DaHanG did. He shouldn't have just run in there. That was, I was like, go through the teleporter, just get the hell away from that fight. DaHanG coming through, he is able to get himself onto the mega health. There's 7 health left. DaHanG commits, but the clutch rail out from Rapha is going to be able to tie things up. And now Heavy has just come up. It looked like DaHanG might have been walking away with it, but we've got things flipped on its head, back to 3-3.
It's why these two players are some of the absolute world's finest. If you have these situations where the only way you can survive is the one shot from this one gun at this half split second for you to survive this fight, you bet your ass that Rapha or DaHanG will hit it. Because it's their level of clutch. It is insane how clutch these guys are.
I'll Heavy up in a moment, and Rapha leading the way down there. He's fully overstacked. DaHanG is kind of licking his wounds at the moment. He hasn't even got that natural armor stacked up yet.
Rapha, a chunky stack on the other side. Now with the mega spawning, Rapha's going to try and force DaHanG away from it. Can take the fight just to push him extra far away. And now can even fight for the Heavy. He's still looking to establish a bit of damage first. Whoa, here comes Slash. But
not too much damage exchange at all. DaHanG is going to keep a hold of that full natural stack. Rapha is going to keep a hold of full overstack. But DaHanG at least is going to feel as if, you know, he can poke and prod a little bit at Rapha. It's just very, very hard work to do it on the item as it's spawning. That's a good bit of damage. You might look to re-engage over at Connector. He's coming back in, but the spam rockets are definitely pushing him away. Nice blockage. His position there blocks Rapha away from the Heavy, but he's not going to commit to the item. He backs out of there, and I think that was a chance to get onto Heavy. This might have been a mistake from him. Rocket jump up, securing the light armor. Now the plasma trail. DaHanG is kind of stuck down here, but a very big shot from him puts Rapha to 70 HP, and Rapha is going to respect.
That Dire Orb just oozed respect from DaHanG's aim. Like, he knew if there's even a split chance that DaHanG will be able to get this rail angle on me, even though it's a very hard angle, he still shut it down with an immediate Dire Orb. Like, he is playing no games in this situation. You know? But that's what happens when you respect someone's aim to that degree. You take no chances.
Nice denial. Oh, rockets from above. That's a great vertical rail. Rapha's now just taken a major item, but he's only at full natural. Not even that now. DaHanG keeps on landing these rail shots. He's going to push in close. He's got the LG. The orbs come out, but there's the trail in the end that takes him down. Mega health is spawned. DaHanG's going to look to get over there. Oh, just pushed away with the lightning gun, not totally off. Nice little rocket jump to get himself towards it, but the rails keep on landing.
And he's jumping down to head him off. Lands a rail on Rapha, looking to secure one more. Rapha's in a difficult position now. Misses the rail. So he's going to live to fight another day. That was almost a complete bonus takedown in that situation. DaHanG's going to get the Heavy anyway. The movement of Slash is so crazy, he's going to be able to chase him down anyway. Here he comes, full speed ahead.
Oh, he's gone up to the light armor, so Rapha's slightly cut off over here, but there's limited lightning gun ammunition for DaHanG. I think he's going to come back. Oh, I thought he would go back to the top, but he really wants that LG ammo.
Alright, the attack begins. But again, no overextending. DaHanG has got a lead. Yes, it's only one frag, but it's a lead all the same. If he can maintain more stack here, he's got the movement advantages, he's got the stack advantage. Rapha trying to put the chokehold on, an unreturned rail. That's just a complete tide turner, 100%. Orb misses! Rapha miscalculating. That one hurts.
He's found him off the spawn actually, but DaHanG's like, I really want to get some stack. Some crazy things can happen sometimes. Let's not make it happen now. And there's going to be Heavy right behind, so DaHanG, he just wants to do some damage and then back up onto it. Now he feels a lot better because Rapha had his full natural stack just then. They can't hit those rails. Only 2 frags ahead. It's a precarious lead.
Nice a bit of damage there on the rocket. But he needs a lot more where that came from. DaHanG sitting on a wonderful stack to take this fight, but a couple of rockets to turn the tide. Is Rapha going to be able to do this? DaHanG getting out machine gunned, actually. Interesting how he had so much stack and it's just been dissolved by Rapha's aim.
Out machine gun, but at the same time, he's out positioning him always. He's always got his back turned to the items that he needs to go for. He's going to put himself on that lightning gun. Does take a bit of damage. Going to try and meet up at the teleporter exit. Missed shot from Rapha. He goes for the dire orb afterwards, but it's not going to hit anything. And now the mega health. Perfect time, perfect rotations that we're getting from DaHanG. On the rocket, look at that shot.
Almost nasty combo there into Rail to finish it. And he's just leading this rotation throughout the items. He's been doing a wonderful job of this the entire time now. DaHanG looking nice and healthy. Pretty low on LG though, which actually might be a bit problematic. The Rail to open. And now Rapha. He's got a lot of cover. But is that going to be enough? That's what I wonder. Plasma Trail, is he going in for the kill? Oh, he is! Rapha drops again! And it's, I mean, there's a lot of work for Rapha left now. 3-7. This very well could be a 1-0 for DaHanG. And, I mean, this is exactly why I mentioned it. Like, DaHanG has done so well versus Rapha historically. It's kind of crazy to me how Rapha is this dominant force in Quake. Yet when he fights his training buddy, DaHanG is more than... You know, he can more than keep up with him. A testament to the skill of DaHanG.
DaHanG's solid. It looks like he's bringing some good shape. It is absolutely only map 1, but I definitely like what I'm seeing. He's giving a lot of respect, as you'd expect, to Rapha. But he's delivering when he needs to. Gets the rail right at the end. Both of them are weak, but honestly, Rapha almost needs to stick around in these situations because he's just desperate for a kill. And in the next 30 seconds, he's surely going to be taking a high-risk maneuver.
And at this stage, like, you know, DaHanG even had the shred of a chance of landing a rail shot. He didn't even take the shot. He didn't want to give his position away. He just wants to happily sit here, and now he's in ultra defensive mode. You know, DaHanG has spent no time on this map here at all. He's clearly here because he has a lot of, like, you know, vision. He's got a lot of audio cues. Now the defensive play begins, and he's just going to run away for a minute.
Yeah, and he's going to have the plasma trail, so he can get that speed boost as well if he wants to escape even faster. And Rapha, well, he can have all the stack that he wants, but even if he wants to blind him, it's so difficult. A free rail for DaHanG. It's not necessarily enough to keep him at bay, but there it is. This is the kind of aggressive play, but the plasma trail comes out, and immediately he's got his defensive moves.
Giving up the mega. Doesn't care about taking it at all. I don't even think he's going to stick around for the heavy, to be honest. Yeah, he's just to get out of there. Just sit there and listen out. And now straight back. I mean, this game is over for sure. 1-0 for DaHanG.
Timing played from DaHanG has been incredibly good. He's gone defensive only when it's been a good idea. He's not done it too soon. Gone passive and allowed Rapha to run the map and bring back control with some favorable fights. He's just been defensive when he can afford to be defensive. Rapha gets a nice kill.
There's something so chunky about that. That was literally just a headshot. Her head just exploded. The violence. What a game, though. Game number 1 for DaHanG, who looked more than comfortable versus Rapha in our first game here. And I mean, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but this is kind of what I said to watch out for.
Is this the one though, and you're 2-1, or is this maybe already a little more for you?
I still think I favor Rapha because Rapha is always able to recover from a bad start. You know, or an amazing start from DaHanG, depending on which other way you look at it. It's just, I didn't foresee a 3-0. If DaHanG wins now, I mean, I'm still going to say that it is a surprise to me, purely because I just think, you know, if you're a betting man, most people will bet for Rapha these days because of just how his recent results have gone. But we've been watching DaHanG play against Rapha many, many times throughout Quake Champions, and it's Quake Champions in particular, honestly, really is this game that DaHanG has had somewhat of an edge on Rapha in the past. But that's, you know, it's impossible to count out either side, but DaHanG winning the first map doesn't surprise me at all. That said, Rapha has been down before. He doesn't get tilted. He doesn't get affected by a loss massively at all. And he does take it one map at a time.
There's been some nice little tilt clips occasionally. Happens once in a while.
Once every 4 moves.
I just like it because there was some noticeable occasions. Just like once or twice, but it was like, it was got juicy bits, you know, for spectators.
I mean, it's always juicy for spectators.
It is.
It is an emotional game. This hardcore.
What's funny about DaHanG though is the way that he rages at himself. He's the greatest commentator of his own mistakes. It's honestly, it's like watching a comedy show. It's like full deadpan, and it's some of the funniest stuff I've seen on Switch. It's amazing.
But actually, the thing about that, like the positivity from that kind of stuff, is actually that you're very aware of the mistakes that you make, so you can remedy those. Like when you're actually thinking about it as a player, you can remedy those mistakes quite easily. Because if you're more than aware of what's happening, it's like, oh, this went wrong and I don't know why. Like, if you know exactly why, then that's just fuel for improvement, which is why Rapha and DaHanG are, they just continue to improve, even though they're already top level. But I mean, yeah, that was map number 1, and it was a doozy, and we have 2 more left. It's crazy how we're actually almost reaching the end of this stream.
It's been a mission, but we are absolutely getting there. And we've got Awoken coming up next. We've got Galena versus Visor. Galena is in the hands of Rapha. Visor obviously the hands of DaHanG. Again, we've had this kind of champion matchups already today. It does feel like we've been seeing something before, as it was our old 2v2 meta. But is Rapha's going to take this? That's what you're saying, right?
I think so. I mean, I believe in Rapha here, and if it's at least a 2-0 to DaHanG, I mean, it's just results from the past continuing to be results in Quake Champions.
Would it make you worry for the future if DaHanG's getting a victory and Rapha maybe not looking to take the win right at the beginning of the season when probably a lot of people are expecting him to? It would just be a bizarre situation. I don't think it would really affect Rapha too much. I think there are some players out here. Of all the players in the NA bracket, I think DaHanG has the best chance of beating him. And I think from what we've seen today, I mean, Nosfer, I'd love to see Rapha versus Nosfer with what we've seen so far. But purely, we can't forget the fact that this is a intense first game. Yeah. This is the potential top 1 and top 2. You're being tested straight away.
This is.
You're jumping into the deep end right at the beginning of the Quake Pro League.
This could easily be both of their hardest game in the NA, and it's week 1 straight away. So, what to take away from this, I guess, remains to be seen. It is very strange actually watching Rapha on Galena and DaHanG on Visor. Normally it was the other way around. And on Awoken just makes it even weirder to me. Because this is their map.
Exactly.
2v2, this is their map. These are their champions, but normally it's DaHanG going in with the Galena. And Rapha, he said multiple times that Visor is his favourite.
Well, let's see what they're capable of now. We're entering the 30th second, and DaHanG is still managing to walk around with a somewhat decent stack at the moment and starting to accumulate those weapons that he needs. Heavy is going to be up very soon. He's just jumped up towards Connector. He'll miss the chance for Heavy. And now he's pretty significantly outstacked. Staying at Heavy could have potentially been dangerous, although I still think a rocket jump out would have been fine for him. And now committing, looking for a rocket, but it's going to be Rapha totally committing to the fight, rightfully so, to secure the 1-0. Questionable start from DaHanG. I really think he should have been challenging for a second major item.
Yeah, he was trying to just make sure he had that. He was trying to make sure he was available with the rail, but obviously he was trying to make no noise while he collected it, which was just wasting a lot of time. And it's been a bit of a shaky start for DaHanG so far.
Well, he's got plenty of time to recover from this. Oh, Rapha's just skirting above him. Mega's going to be up in a moment. Should be a formality. DaHanG's not going to challenge there on the LG ammo corner. Oh, that tri-bolt hurts a lot. I smell a frag manifesting itself here. That rocket was tremendously close. That rocket actually somehow managed to block the angle. I really think Rapha could have rocket jumped up there, but I think that's a testament to the amount of respect he gives. Because when you rocket jump up, you still expose yourself a lot to damage. And Rapha doesn't want to go for cheap shots.
But now, definitely a different turn of events from the first map, as now Rapha's the one that's established full control. And DaHanG, the opening damage. 100, there should be another frag if he gets it, but he doesn't even want to try and risk swapping over there. He wants to maintain control. What a rail that was! But another amazing return rocket. The rocket jump to be way too fast. DaHanG unable to hit his mark there. And
calculated with the amount of health he had left.
That was crazy. But no, Rapha does that all the time. I think Rapha has probably my favorite rocket jumps in the business, because every time he rocket jumps at these low health, the uninitiated will see it and just you reel back in your chair because you're like, I can't believe he's done it. But
his rocket jumps are also the most efficient and the best, in my opinion, in all of Pro Quake. I just think he executes it in the cleanest ways.
It's just always a game of how much damage will I take from this rocket jump versus how much I'll take by being either out of position or chased down or railable. Yeah, that was a really nice fight. Rapha maintaining the #1 spot here. He's going to get the Mega. And it's been a pretty common problem. DaHanG hasn't really been able to get any of these major pickups just yet. Rapha's been in full control for pretty much the entirety of these 3 minutes. Now with Heavy about to spawn, and that missed rail, that should be an easy pickup.
It's mostly been about the rails of DaHanG, him trying to land as many as he can. Rapha's being a lot more diverse with his weapon usage, but controls allowed him to do whatever the hell he wants. DaHanG has got limited choices. There's a nice little rocket to rail. DaHanG deleted and well, off the respawn. He's got to hope he can get himself some comfort weapons.
Well, DaHanG's going to be spawning near the LG, but a huge part about fighting Rapha here seems to be getting those cheeky little rails off. You know, trying to get that initial damage before you can go in. And you know, Rapha's pretty much controlling the entire half of this map. He's not going to make it easy for DaHanG to get the equipment that he needs. Now the Heavy's down 2. Still going to take DaHanG a while to get it.
He's really been struggling on stack. He's trying to stare around to see if he can fight for that mega health, but Rapha puts a totem down and bullies him away from the room.
Ooh.
Nice little pop nail jump up. He's got 2 totems down, covering some decent spots. And he's like, DaHanG is just barely able to recover at all. I can't remember the last time I saw him on full natural, let alone anything more than that. But there's been some brilliant rockets from DaHanG. He's basically spinning circles around him. He's got a chance to get a kill, and Rapha got played just then. That was a surprise to see that outcome.
Yeah, I mean, he was super confident to try and go in, and then even when he went up that jump pad, he looked a little bit lost as to where DaHanG even was, taking so much free damage. Uncharacteristic to get Rapha caught off guard like that. And hang on a minute, DaHanG, he's going to get a second frag.
I don't know how DaHanG created that scenario, because as I said, at the top of the bounce pad, Rapha was uncertain what he was doing, and it looked like DaHanG was jumping around the outside of the bounce pad, if you know what I mean? Like going back into it towards... It was crazy moves by DaHanG. And now he's out-railing Rapha. This advantage that Rapha's built is appearing more and more fragile. Still managed to hit that rail. He's got to hit a couple more, though, because Mega's just been taken. 100 health for each player. DaHanG, though, fights for the shotgun light armor. Rapha gets the connector light, but Heavy should be going to DaHanG now.
But you know, the thing about... Oh, my word.
Stripping away the light armor that he just picked up so he can't get his own full natural now. This is... The whole game is switched.
Those kind of crazy moments, like near that jump pad, you know, when I said at the very beginning, these guys play together so often that you can almost come to expect these odd plays, things that you wouldn't normally see, because they play and have so much experience with each other that sometimes you have to kind of, you know, break the wheel a little bit. You've got to do something really unorthodox, yes, because everything else is too predictable.
But it becomes such a subtle art between these two when they play each other because of that amount of experience they have versus each other. So if you do something too wild, it's almost too predictable. It's got to be something small and unnoticeable by there, just because they've been exposed to so many of those situations.
But now Rapha doing what he can to maintain his lead. DaHanG has been able to create some really miracle situations so far, but it's only for 2 frags. He's still 2 behind right now.
He's going to get the triple totems. DaHanG has been missing out on chances to get rid of totems at the moment. He needs to strip them away from Rapha, because that is really nice extra stack for him to work with. A free mega health, in essence.
It's a room to retreat to as well, which is what the fear comes from. Oh my god. Counting up the numbers. And uh-oh, he's going to run straight into that totem.
Oh, he's found them all. He found every single one. And he's now healing up as well. Mega has gone over to Rapha, but he doesn't doing so well in terms of armor. Oh, the direct rocket. There's going to be another light by the shotgun. So DaHanG has to break his way back into this map a little bit. I think we're going to see probably a 20 to 30 second simmering for DaHanG, and then he's going to come back and fighting. All guns blazing. Yeah,
I think he's more than aware that he is kind of running out of time now. He only has 2 frags to get, but against someone like Rapha, who is more than aware of his own situation, he's not going to make it easy for you. And now they're going to trade these rockets. Rapha's like defensive and prediction rockets doing as the damage that they have
is silly.
I mean, every defensive shot he's hitting is making it impossible, like absolutely impossible for DaHanG. to come back here in any capacity now. 2 minutes on the clock. Rapha looking on a wonderful stack again. And he's looking for these shots just to keep DaHanG at bay for as long as possible.
Okay, the rocket was a little bit touch and go from them. That was finally a good shot from DaHanG, but he's got to connect more than that. He's been outstacked vastly, and it's Rapha. He suddenly hits 2 directs, and DaHanG goes down. That is the mega health going over to Rapha. We've got the heavy armor up in a second. Looks like DaHanG wants to commit to this, though. Rocket jumps up, but he accidentally hits the wall of the rail platform, so he goes flying off the edge. He does manage to actually pick up the rail, though, but trying to push up, he gets locked down, and in his attempts at scavenging something to do with control or damage or efforts to make a comeback, it's just tipping the total opposite way.
All he was able to do was waste time, and that's exactly what Rapha wants. Yes.
Unnecessary?
I mean, just that temporary miscalculation of rocket jump health. We were just talking about how Rapha does these scary...
unnecessary?
Hang on a minute! Giving DaHanG these openings to come back is very surprising. He can tank 1 rail, but barely.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
This isn't done yet now, all of a sudden. DaHanG's got to chase. He's hit a rail.
If he dies right now, oh, the rocket knocking his momentum.
He's got to run. LG shuts it down. I feel like DaHanG actually possibly could have even capitalized a bit more off whatever the hell happened. But now it's shut down, okay. Now there's nothing possibly could go
I
wrong.
almost feel like DaHanG might have even been the last person that expected that weird situation.
This is the next level move. These are the subtle things you need to do to your opponent. Wouldn't prescribe it, though.
Okay, so just like that, Zoot, the second map is about to finish. That means that Rapha is going to make it 1-1. And we're getting closer and closer towards our prediction. At this stage, just try and get some frags. The frags matter a great deal sometimes, and that's actually a missed rail. Not going to be the end of the world. DaHanG's just going to get a bonus frag if he needs it. But it is going to be a 1-1.
I like it. I like it. It's what I want to see between these two. Getting ourselves to a tiebreaker map. We did very much expect it to go to a tiebreaker. And, well, going over to Vale at the end should be an interesting one to close out the day, actually. It
would be interesting to see who wins it, Zoot, because, I mean, Vale has been so commonly known as Rapha's map. You know, this is a map that Rapha really started. I think Rapha kind of grinded this map a lot earlier than a lot of people did.
He's one of the first to get incredibly good at it. And I really think that the Italian Esports Open last year is where he demonstrated how strong he was at Vale compared to pretty much everybody else.
And I think it's almost kind of fitting how we're just kind of
Europeans, trying to say.
I mean, yeah, we're just kind of approaching the sort of 1 year mark where that tournament actually took place, where Rapha demonstrated, hey, this map is great, and I'm wonderful on it. Here, take these 3 losses.
It's just that moment there that was just blew my mind. He's just spinning around him. I need to watch it like 10 times in slow motion and understand how Rapha saw that from his point of view. Unbelievable.
But then after these moments happened, it kind of just escapes DaHanG, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, there were some situations where he might have potentially been able to capitalize, and Rapha just out-aimed him. You know, it's one of those situations where if DaHanG just hit that 1 extra rail or that 1 extra little bit of LG, then perhaps he might have seen a bit of a turn of the tide, if you will. But
there were definitely a couple of missed shots, I think, from DaHanG, which could have evened out the series, the map a little more. But still a good performance, and I think winning their respective maps.
Yeah, so we're going into our third and final map. It's going to be Vale of Pnath, Eisen and Kiel. I mean, they are 2 very, very common picks.
Ooh, Kiel, actually. I hadn't thought that DaHanG has gone for that. I like it.
But that's what interests me, actually, that it is actually DaHanG that's gone in for Kiel. Once again, when Rapha was kind of going in and sort of pioneering Vale of Pnath last year at the Italian Esports Open, Kiel was one of his main, one of his main champions that he would use almost exclusively on Vale. I know Blood Run was another map that Kiel was popular on for that as well, for the same reason. And still is, but we just don't really see Blood Run as much these days, in a pick sense, anyway. So, yeah, I mean, but DaHanG, he's played Kiel a bunch in the 2v2. Like, he knows how to play the champion, clearly, 100%. You know, in 2v2, DaHanG was always seen to be kind of like the person that was just doing the damage and getting the frags. Rapha was the brain, and DaHanG was the brawn, you know, so he would always go with these champions that are just designed to get as many frags as possible.
Completely. Is this keeping your predictions the same? 2-1 Rapha, you're feeling? I think with the Eisen, it's a very solid champion pick on Vale, even versus a Kiel who's good. I probably maybe not as tier 1 as Eisen is, but definitely up there on the map.
I will always just favour Rapha on Vale. I think
that's
like,
fair.
by
It's
map,
a fair assessment.
by map alone, I think that Rapha just has the best chance on Vale. So I still think 2-1. I think in Rapha's favour. I think this map just massively helps that chance as well. But we'll see what happens. This is the final map of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Rapha. It's going to be DaHanG. Who's going to get the final win of the day?
Yeah, let's see. Points are to be shared over here. Unfortunately for either of these two, no one will be beating the amount of points that Nospa has tonight, but they can make their way closer to it, as Rapha and DaHanG have got a hard-fought series to conclude between each other.
Oh, he's peppering the damage down. DaHanG, first blood. And before you can even blink, that's one frag already
Just
down.
done. Oh, a little bit of damage from above. That's going to hurt a little. And yeah, DaHanG's going to fade away from that. Doesn't want to go in range of any rail shots there. Respecting the possibility that it could happen on this occasion, but it's going to be Rapha quickly dropping down below. DaHanG just taking some precautionary measures. It's going to be heavy up in a couple of seconds' time. Oh my god, he suddenly hits a sweet angle with that lightning gun. There's going to be Mega up very shortly. Jump across, tries to spam the rail out, but Rapha sneaks over.
And I think, yeah, DaHanG's just going to do what he can to get this free damage now. Trying to stay as safe as possible. It can be very, very tricky going through the teleporter until the time is right! And that was the perfect time. DaHanG now 2-0 versus Rapha.
This is the kind of start that you need, but there's so much Vale left to be played. And it would definitely go against my expectations, I guess, to see DaHanG take this. Given what you said about the dominance of Rapha on this map, would certainly be unusual. But this is a great stack that we've got at the moment for DaHanG. He looks like he's trying to maybe bait in a rail. 10 seconds until heavy. Reassessing the situation. Taking some position at the top, missing a lot of damage over there. Now he's got to be really careful. He's got rockets to get rid of that turret if he wants to. The rail's good to punish the heavy pickup. The stacks are quite even. Great rocket jump from Rapha.
Yeah, and Rapha's been controlling the center quite well so far. But DaHanG, the thing about damage, about kill, is that you have to respect the damage at all times, regardless of his stack. You know, you get caught by one rocket and you get put into the air and there's a grenade underneath you as well, then you just get absolutely melted, regardless of how much health or armor Keel's looking at the time. And I think DaHanG is kind of very aware of his own damage potential. So, I mean, he's not going to constantly try and worry about making sure he has the biggest stack, because all he needs to do is land one extra grenade and that's damage on the table. He's going to, caught on the way down, but Rapha's still the one in trouble.
Rapha did the same thing twice in a row, and DaHanG beautifully read those movements. LG, he's dropped down from the top, still going to be able to secure the kill, but that was a very close fight. And I think the fact that Rapha took the same route twice in a row is what allowed DaHanG to just secure those easy shots as he moved in towards the Mega Room. Good LG though from Rapha. Trying to spam out as much as possible, but the rockets work out for Rapha in the end.
Final shot completely unable to hit its mark. Well placed there, but it's starting to get shredded.
Oh my god.
Looking for the final shot. The shotgun's all he needs. Wonderful. That should be a Mega as a reward as well. Yeah, there it is. It's been taken now. Rapha bringing himself back into the fight. DaHanG had a lead, but it's starting to run away a little bit, and I think a lot of it is just Rapha's composure. Even in these fights, he's super familiar with the map, and he himself would play Keel so much. He knows where the grenade placements are going to go. He knows what kind of parts of areas you can kind of sit in these rooms and be a little bit safer. And in that center fight, he needed to get hit by one bit of splash damage. Rocket, 2 grenades went through, and not a single thing touched him.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. I think he was down to 85 collective health and armor, and then the rail comes out. What a brutal time to receive the shot. And Rapha is managing to sustain some very good control. And he's managed to make the comeback in such a short amount of time as well. Just over 4 minutes into this last map. And this is, what was that, DaHanG's spot down at the bottom. Just holding by the rail, kind of looking towards the lightning gun doors. It's a very early position to be held for the mega health area.
DaHanG once more taking a lot of damage, and he's missing the pineapples and the rail shot, so it's just kind of not working out for him at this stage. Rapha doesn't even need the rail anymore. Is he looking for a last-minute shot? He lands it! DaHanG is going to fall again. And we're now hitting that halfway point. Rapha barely in the lead, but looking a lot better than he did at the start. Now the armor's been taken, peppering the damage down. That is that 5-minute warning now. I still find it hard to predict those two. I still can't find a clear winner just yet.
It's absolutely not there, but DaHanG's making some really early moves over to the Mega Health at the moment and exposing himself to so much damage. That lightning gun is going to take him down. DaHanG needs to get clear timing on this Mega because he's positioning himself there when he absolutely should not be standing in this open area, just receiving all kinds of crazy damage from Rapha. Oh, I think a grenade just clipped Rapha then. Every little bit helps for DaHanG. Rapha will rejuvenate his stack using the heavy.
Teleporter used, just trying to avoid some damage, and now the rocket 1v1's come back.
It's crazy jumps from DaHanG. He's going to move through. DaHanG goes over to shotgun, has dealt a little bit of damage. But look, it's on the LG. Manages to push Rapha up. That's going to keep him, DaHanG alive a little as he can get away, and he's collecting the sort of cave-like armor. But we've got a heavy up shortly, and that is a spectacular rail shot from Rapha. Very opportunistic. And kind of shutting down DaHanG's chance at a comeback for a couple of moments. Another rail hitting the pillar on this occasion. DaHanG, he just wants to put some pressure on. He's not doing a terrible job at it. But what items has he got to go to? There's barely anything for him to get on the map.
I feel like Rapha in general has just had better accuracy on this map, and that's one of the things that's been really, I think, turning the tide of things, is that, you know, DaHanG had those wonderful fights at the very beginning, and those fights are very much keel fights where he just catches you out of position and then peppers damage onto you, but Rapha's had more of like the crazy little impressive rails, those funny little angles, those situations where you hit it and it's like, oh damn, DaHanG's just been completely denied here.
Yeah, what DaHanG needs to ensure in these last 3 minutes is that his Mega Health and Heavy Armor timing are absolutely to the millisecond. And from there, it's going to help him decide how to take those positions in order to be a little more victorious versus Rapha.
Starting to reach somewhat of a danger territory though, 3 minutes left to go.
Split between the items is just savage though for DaHanG. There's 15 seconds between them. There's so much time for Rapha to just maneuver slowly towards either of the major items, whatever's coming up next, set up for it, and take it.
Well, you mentioned the delay. The next target is going to be that heavy. And that's why DaHanG is spending all of his time up there. He's really trying to bully him away. The second he gets loads of armor, that's going to be, you know, maybe his key there. Unfortunately, he's going to miss the rail. There are some of these shots that DaHanG is missing. He's not going to miss the rail though, which should bring him into the fight. But Rapha refusing to miss. But what cost will it be? DaHanG is weak. He's extremely weak. Ooh. And the turret! Rapha knows where DaHanG's going to be, and he knows that he wasted time trying to kill the turret. Rapha's going to chase it down.
Oh, that's such a good chase.
And that turret gave him all the info he needed.
It's like, you're still fighting that turret? Why are you doing that? I'm going to go frag you now. Easy peasy. Yeah, DaHanG needed to get out of there, but the thing is he couldn't even get in line of sight of the turret because his stack was so fragile. It was such a frustrating situation for DaHanG. Even though he made such a good play getting the kill, I think he lost probably about 70 health too much. He had made a really good entry into it. Managed to get a grenade to land, a little bit splash. Still 5 seconds until the heavy's going to be up. Trying to hold on to his life. This is going to be close. Oh, the turret is also dishing out damage at the same time. That is 7-4. And now DaHanG needs to go Super Saiyan if he wants a chance to come back.
It was a really unfortunate fight. You know, he got that frag and then immediately wasted time with the turret, and that took so long that by the time he actually died and Rapha picked it back up, the heavy on its next cycle was just about to spawn. So the entire fight existed for DaHanG to try and take it away from Rapha and get a kill in the process, and then by the time it finished, you know, I mean, the heavy just spawned anyway, and Rapha collected it. As if nothing happened, he got himself a kill, he wasted time, and now we've gone long into the 1 minute warning. This should, by all accounts, be 2-1 for Rapha, finishing the series tonight, especially after a frag like that. I think we're willing to call this one too.
Well, it's been so good for Rapha, the way he's kept control, the way he's cycled the items to ensure about a 50-second separation, how he's been able to move to each of the items. He's been absolutely spot on with the early game rails as well to just slow down DaHanG's chance of getting back into control. Absolute, just fluent performance on Vale of Pnath.
finishing the job and just getting all these bonus frags in the process. The frags do matter when we're factoring in all the different values that happen at the end of the night. But the point value, this should be a 2-1 to Rapha. Rapha's now going to be sitting with 4 points. Just like the rest of the winners, right? With the exception of Nosfer. And this is going to be game over. Well played for DaHanG. Really bringing it to Rapha. But it turns out that the prediction once more is actually going to come through. Rapha with that 2-1 victory versus DaHanG, but both players played exceptionally well.
Yeah, look at DaHanG. He is going to be really upset with that rail accuracy. 8 of 46 Ketchup. That's going to remind him of, what was it? It was like a QuakeCon final in 2013 or something like that, or 2012, where I think he was playing Cypher and he was playing Furious Heights and he hit, I'm pretty sure it was 17% rail as well then. And I just needed like 10% more.
But it's what Rapha was really sort of like forcing onto DaHanG in this map, that so many of these crazy situations where that one weird rail that you hit opens up like the fight in your favor. You know, you can now push or
17% rail Ketchup.
But that's the point, isn't it? Because DaHanG wasn't hitting it at all, and Rapha was
17%. 8 of 46.
Yeah.
Sorry, it comes as a bit of. DaHanG's not the type of person to expect to do that.
I mean, he's normally consistency through and through, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's why I think that's one of the things that makes him so special.
Expect a solid 18%.
I mean, is at the end of the day,
At least.
It's so hot in this venue, your brain is just fried now, like a scrambled egg.
Yeah, seriously, I have no idea what's going on.
This is your brain on 17% rail.
Please. I saw these rails that Rapha was hitting, which is spectacular, actually. He was just piling on so much pressure with it that even though DaHanG has these great stacks on a heavy champion and he spawns with 125, 100, it didn't even matter because Rapha was just starting to strip that away so fast. And the turret placements as well, you got to say, were positioned excellently.
I mean, right there, like DaHanG couldn't move.
Yeah.
That turret was 100% bang in the way.
And it's difficult to even just physically close the gaps. Like, I can't shoot the guns both directions, you know. I can't get rid of both of these targets at once, no matter how much he would like to do it. And especially that one frag at the end where Rapha knew that he was still fighting his turret. It was just kind of blocking the way awkwardly for him to get anywhere that he kind of needed to go. So, well played.
But it's why Ison is held up in such high esteem. You know, if there was a tier list, I'm sure Ison would be put high up. I'm sure he would be well up there. And, you know, because in those competitive rotation maps, he's also very, very dangerous. But that is, in fact, going to be our final match of the day. And we have, I believe, got a bunch of scoreboard updates, and we can see where everyone placed. We can see where the placements are. We've got to quickly get them programmed in.
What I'll say in the meantime, though, is that, guys, we have got the Challenger League that is going to be coming up. It's the route to get into the Pro League. Top 2 players of each regions are going to be able to get themselves over to Luca Comic and Games to have a chance to qualify into the Quake Pro League. If you go over to fce.gg/Quake Sports, you can sign up over there. Pretty much anybody can sign up in the respective regions, and I'm pretty sure the regions are actually like pretty open to like a multitude of different places. So yeah, get signed up, support the community, guys. It's a great way to have a lot of fun, and especially if you're in the competitive spirit, you can see yourself up on the streams as well at some point. And I'm sure community people are going to be taking care of community streams as well for the Challenger League.
Yeah, of course. And ultimately, what's really important for the Challenger League is if you become the best of the Challenger League, you have the opportunities to go into Pro League. You know, that's
the route up.
You can dethrone. And that's got to be a level of satisfaction that has just never been experienced, right?
Yes,
but I turn up
if any of you win the
you.
Challenge League and you qualify, just be as BM as possible, just to please me.
I mean, it's great for us because we're not the ones that are going to be on the receiving end.
Yes, exactly.
But
we will just comment about it and feel happy.
I cannot believe I saw this great moment. I love confidence. I mean, I'm no stranger to these crazy confident players and players that aren't afraid to talk the trash, you know. But it breeds character and it strengthens you as a competitive player. You know, you're able to deal with any environment. But all jokes aside, it has been a fantastic day, and it's honestly crazy to think that this is just week 1. We have 10 weeks of this, and this is season 1, right? So we're going to conclude at Luca Comics and Games. You know, Italy, gonna be nice to be back in Italy. I'm sure for those players, it's a fantastic part of. It's a great time of the year, and it's a great part of the world to be in. It's just video games celebrated in that little town where it just seems to be a living convention for the weekend.
And remember, it's 10 weeks. It's every weekend back to back. We are going to have the stream on here for the Quake Pro League. 10 full weeks of it. And then I think the weekend after that is Luku Comics and Games anyway. So we're just rolling swiftly into LAN.
But if you guys liked what you saw today, make sure that you're following Quake and Quake Champions on Twitter. Everything that you need to know about competitive and what's going on with the game, PTS updates, patch changes, and all that good stuff. And the most important thing, information on the Quake Pro League. It's all found over on the Quake Champions Twitter page. So make sure you can go and drop them a follow and stick around for more streams to come.
Yeah, and I think we do have some updates for you now that we can swing on over to you. So this is what the outcome of today looks like for the Americas region. Of course, it was a bye week for Chain and Waz. They'll be playing next weekend. And you can see here, Nosfer finds himself at the top of the Americas with those juicy 8 points he got versus Saigib, who is, well, down in 8th, as you can see. Unfortunately, tying with the bide players. But that's it. He's going to be climbing back up again. I'm sure as hell of that. And we can take a look at the EU board as well to see what they look like, because we had some really close games all day. Garpy, Razy, Base, Venga all winning their respective matches. Probably one of the funniest things today was Garpy's 31-1 on Sparty on their tiebreaker map.
It was
That's why you see so many frags behind his name.
It was definitely one of the best matches that we had today, but it was 2 1s all around. Remember, Kilson versus Cooler, that's actually going to be a matchup that we see next week.
Yes.
Those two players had their buys today. Well, they're going to be playing again. Here comes the world ranking. Nosfer sitting at #1.
Green cap that, Nosfer. Get it on the Twitters. Bang.
That is an amazing week #1. Garpy is sitting nice and happy with his current placing, thanks to the amount of kills that he was able to get. Effortless looking really good as well.
Looking hot, man. I was not expecting that result actually today. Effortless 2-1 against Ramis. I'm surprised, impressed, but happy for Effortless. I guess I'm slightly gutted for Dravis because he didn't deliver what I wanted to see. Hopefully he will next week.
That's the thing, right? That's week 1. We have plenty more Quake where that came from, and there's plenty more opportunities for players to get back up on the grind and remind us all why they are some of the world's greatest Quake talent that there is. But I believe, Zoo, that is all we have time for week #1.
It is. So yeah, catch up. Thanks so much that you've been a part of this with me. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks so much to the Face It guys, and for you guys for watching. We are gonna see you next weekend for more from the Quake Pro League. Take care.